Hello everyone, my name is Louisa, and in today's video, I'm going to be ranking 20 completely random Disney Channel original movies from worst to best. Last August, my Disney best friend Caitlin and I embarked on a project, and I don't think when we started this, we thought it would get to this point. But it has turned into this epic project that's going to take a while to finish. And what project may that be? Watching all of the Disney Channel original movies. Fun fact, did you know that there are 108? Yeah, I didn't know that when I was a kid. So, yeah. So we started this project in August. I think we were just watching Pixel Perfect because I had never seen it. And then we kind of made it a weekly thing. Every Saturday night, she and I watch a new Disney Channel original movie, or new to us, new to the project. And basically, I randomly pull from this plastic bag that has all the Disney Channel original movies in it, and we watch that one and we cross it off of the list. So we've been doing this since August, and as I said, we do it every Saturday night, so it is a weekly thing, but there have been some Saturdays where we've missed and whatnot, but we have watched 20 movies, so almost a fifth of all of the Disney Channel original movies. But I thought that I would rank all of the ones we have seen so far right now. And then as I watch more movies, as we see more of them, I do hope to do an epic ranking all 108 of them video once we finish with this. But I would love to kind of do a little bit more of a detailed review of just these 20 movies. So this is in chronological order. I'm going to tell you the movies we watched. So all of these movies are completely random. As I said, I pulled them out of a plastic bag, which one we're watching for the next week. So these are the ones we have seen. They are in chronological order, and this is not the rating order. So we have seen You Lucky Dog, Genius, Alley Cat Strike, Miracle in Lane 2, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, The Poof Point, The Even Stevens Movie, Pixel Perfect, Going to the Mat, Now You See It, Buffalo Dreams, Cowbells, Read It and Weep, Camp Rock, Avalon High, Teen Beach Movie, CloudNine, Teen Beach 2, Descendants, and Kim Possible. So that's all the movies in chronological order. And now I'm very passionate about my subject of Disney Channel original movies. I've been writing these notes for an hour. I have 3 pages front and back with all of these notes. Let's launch into my rating of these 20 completely random Disney Channel original movies. Let's do it. My worst, my least favorite out of these, and the one I do not like really at all, is number 20, and that is Alley Cat's Strike. This movie came out in 2000. Basically, what's going on in this movie is that 2 cities are competing for a trophy known as the Mighty Apple. Okay, and the winner ends up being decided by a bowling competition. So everything kind of comes down to this bowling competition that occurs in the movie. And main reason why I don't like this movie is I don't think any of the kid characters or just the main characters are likable. I think they're all kind of super judgmental of each other. I mean, there's this popular boy that ends up joining the bowling team, and you know, maybe they think he's just like overconfident or whatever, and he's just a popular jock, but they're kind of really mean and judgmental to him and leave him out. And I think it's only because they think he's arrogant. The climax of this movie is long and it's ridiculous. Like, I just, during it, I was just like, are you serious? Like, let's go. Like, just let's go. I just think the ending, the climax is ridiculous, and I just wanted it to be over. Coming in at number 19, we have Buffalo Dreams. This movie came out in 2005. The synopsis of this movie is that a newcomer comes to town and struggles to make friendship work with the local teens. So, a few things about this movie. I think that Thomas Blackhorse should be the main character, and this should be his movie. I don't know why the main character is like what I think a 14-year-old white boy. I don't think that is the best protagonist for this. The villain has absolutely no redeeming qualities. So that's not really fun. Not a big fan of that. Something that really didn't work for me with this movie is that I felt like there's just this huge age difference between the two main boys. And just the main character looks like he's like 14, and then the other guy looks like he's in high school, and so I'm like, I don't really see why these two would necessarily be hanging out, or why they're kind of being like forced to hang out by their parents. Like, I just felt like they're kind of two different ages, and it just didn't really work for me. And this is also just like a side note, but it was weird. The main character, again, I think like the main character is like 14, which is fine. Like, normally I think the main character in these movies is like high school age, but this one just seemed a little bit younger. I don't know. But the main character was shown in like the bath and shower, and nothing was showing but 3 times. And I'm like, the guy is not Zac Efron. I could kind of understand why in a High School Musical movie they might be like, okay, let's show Zac Efron in the shower or something. But I didn't really get it for this movie, and it was 3 different times, and both me and Caitlin commented on that, and we were like, really? Why? Number 18 is The Poof Point, and it came out in 2001. Basically, for this movie, 2 kids have to help their parents act like adults after an experiment of theirs, because they're scientists, causes them to de-age. Something I've noticed by watching these movies is that Disney Channel original movies and their plots are just kind of crazy and wacky and goofy. And that's fine, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it just gets really annoying, and this was one of those times where it got really annoying. Like, there was a point when we were watching this where I was just like, okay, like, can they solve the problem? Can this movie like end already? Like, I was just like, it's fun, it's wacky, but I kind of like got over it. I think that the parents were really good actors. I mean, because they had to like act younger and do some really crazy, silly stuff, and so props to them. Number 17 is Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. This came out in 2000. The plot of this movie is pretty much in the title. The kids try to save their mom from a date after they suspect that the date is a vampire. So, yep, pretty self-explanatory. Something that really bothers me about this movie is that the main character, arguably the brother, the middle brother of the 3 kids, he makes a bet that, or not a bet, he doesn't make a bet, I'm sorry. He like makes a deal with another teenager or another person that if that person gives him this concert ticket, then he will let that guy go on a date with his sister, or like that his sister will go on a date with him. And that's not okay. Like, that's really cringeworthy, and it's kind of talked about in the movie. Like, the sister's like, why would you do that to me? Like, she, you know, she has plans to go like on a date with somebody else and stuff like that. But I mean, it's cringeworthy, and it doesn't really get talked about, and so that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't really think the kid characters are too likable in this. The little brother's cute. He's probably the most likable, but I don't think these kids are that likable. Robert Carradine is the savior of this movie. He's just great, and it's so interesting because you expect him to be like goofy Mr. Maguire, but he's kind of like in the background and is kind of mysterious, and you're like, this is so fun. I don't know. It was just nice to see him. Number 16 is Now You See It. This came out in 2005, and it stars Ali Mashanka and Johnny Bakar. And it's about a magician and a TV producer, and they try to win a televised magic competition. Okay, I don't really get the setup of this movie because Ali Mashanka plays a TV producer, but she's in high school. She's like 16 years old. Who is a TV producer when they're 16 years old? Like, that was just weird to me. And then there's like an overall producer of the TV station. So I don't know why you would then have like 3 different TV producers and then like these magicians. I don't know. Danny and Allison would not last long. I mean, they're cute, and there are some moments where I'm like, oh, like they're cute. But there's some things that you're just like, they're not gonna last more than 2 weeks after this movie ends. I mean, Danny doesn't really listen to her and trust her, and, you know, Allison is kind of a bit in his face and kind of in a mom way, constantly nagging him. And so I don't see that relationship lasting long. And I don't know, I heard a lot about it. It stars Ali Mashanka, so I kind of had higher hopes for this, but I don't know, compared to some other ones, it wasn't up there for me. It's not one of my favorites. Number 15 is Genius. This came out in 1999, and it's about a child prodigy that attends college, and he also enrolls in the local junior high so he can have a social life. Okay, this movie is insane. with its plot and its side plots. Like, there's a lot going on. The main character gets to go to college and he's really young, like 13, 14, maybe younger, maybe he's like 12. I don't know, but he's in junior high school and he's going to college. He is in the dorms, like with college age guys, so we'll talk about that in a second. And then, but he, you know, wants to have a social life with kids his age, so then he enrolls at a local junior high. So during the day he goes to junior high, but then I guess he's also doing college work, but I don't actually know if he's going to college classes. It gets a little tricky, and then something with the hockey team comes into play. There's a lot going on, and I will admit that this plot and the side plots are absolutely insane. I was fascinated by it. I didn't mind it because I was just like, how do these things all go together? I don't understand. Obviously, the movie and the setup is very problematic. I mean, 14-year-old with like 18-year-old guys and gals at college, super dangerous. Yeah, so there are some big problems with this, but honestly, it's kind of a hot mess, and I have no idea how anything works in this universe or how this is even possible, but it's so fascinating and weird to me that I kind of liked it. I don't know. That's where I'm at. Number 14 is You Lucky Dog. This came out in 1998 and it stars Kirk Cameron. It's basically about a dog therapist that becomes the trustee for a dog's trust fund. And this movie, I think I've watched a few videos about ranking the Disney Channel original movies, and I've seen just a few rankings of these movies in general, and this one is like the bottom of the list for the other people I've seen that have ranked these. And I get it. Like, I'm not saying it's good by any means. Like, I don't think it's great, but I do kind of think there are some pros to it, or some things that make it redeemable in my eyes. First of all, it was one of the very first ones. So if it's really bad, I kind of give it a pass because it was one of the first ones when they were trying to figure out what a Disney Channel original movie is, like what this was going to be, this whole thing. Kirk Cameron is compelling. I like him. I think he's a good actor in this. What's interesting about this one is I don't know. I can't confirm this, but I kind of feel like this movie was made to be just like a live action movie that they released, and then they decided to make it a Disney Channel original movie because the production is good. Like, you can tell there was like money and things that went into this movie and time and effort. So that's interesting. Also, the main character is an adult, which in most of these Disney Channel original movies, it's starring kids or teenagers. But as I said, I mean, I don't know. I think Kirk Cameron is likable in this. He's a good actor, and is it crazy? Yes. It's one of those where it's so crazy, it's fun, kind of like Genius, but it's simpler than Genius. So there you go. Number 13 is CloudNine. This movie came out in 2014 and it stars Dove Cameron and Luke Benward. And it's about a mediocre snowboarder who is trying to prove to everyone that she actually is talented. The thing about this movie is that it's one of those where it has a lot of side plots. So the main character, Kayla, is kicked off of her snowboarding team after an accident that occurs that she caused, ? And then she has to work in the kennel at this ski resort to make up for the damage done. And then she is trying to prove to everyone that she is actually a good snowboarder, because it's revealed around the 15-minute mark that everyone just kind of said she was a good snowboarder because her dad, you know, owned this ski resort that they're all at and like kind of was like a sponsor for her snowboarding team. And so they all just kind of lied or just weren't very honest about her ability with her. And so we have that going on, and then she's working in the kennel, and then the guy in the kennel is named Will, and he created this move called the CloudNine, and he's been out of snowboarding for a while because he attempted to do the CloudNine and had a major wipeout. And so as you can see, okay, there's a lot. This isn't like a quick explanation kind of a movie. There's a lot of side plots going on. I don't think a lot of the characters are super likable in this, but I will say, in CloudNine's defense, there was a moment in this Disney Channel original movie that I was not expecting, and I was like, yes. The main character Kayla, is talking to Will, and they are kind of having an argument, and I can't remember what the exact line is, but she says, yeah, you know, we're done, or I'm done. She says, I need to stop hanging around men that don't believe in me, or it's something like that. I don't know the actual line. And she's not just talking about this guy, she's talking about her ex-boyfriend, she's talking about her male coach from her snowboarding team, she's talking about her dad, like, and it was kind of a powerful moment. Like, it really kind of hit me. I knew in that moment that that main character was going to be okay, and that main character was strong enough to do things on her own and was determined enough. And I just thought that was a really powerful moment that I did not expect from this movie. Number 12 is the Even Stevens movie. This came out in 2003, and it stars Shia LaBeouf and Christy Carlson Romano. And it's about the Stevens family, of course, from the TV show Even Stevens, and they get an all-expense-paid vacation to a tropical paradise, but it turns out that they're actually on a reality TV show. What's interesting about this movie is that after watching this one, I realized kind of how many different Disney movies, or Disney Channel original movies, followed this kind of cliched plot where they go to an island and a lot of stuff happens that probably shouldn't. For example, the Proud Family movie, Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie, and it's just interesting. I feel like there's other Disney Channel original movies that have done this, but this was the first, so I'm kind of giving it a pass. But I do kind of feel now that I've seen this plot a lot. Of course, it's fun to see young Shia LaBeouf, and Christy Carlson Romano is great. And it's fun, it's wacky, it's silly, but there wasn't a point where I was like, I really want to turn this off, kind of like when I watched Poof Point. Number 11 is Pixel Perfect. This movie came out in 2004, and it stars Ricky Ullman, and it's about how a tech genius creates a hologram to liven up a friend's band and kind of ends up falling in love with this hologram. The hologram ends up like dancing for this band, and she's just doing things that like no band does. Like, she just goes up and starts doing like 3 backflips, and you're like, what? Like, huh? And you're also just like, this kid could create like a hologram. Why is it for this purpose? I don't know. That was just kind of funny to me. Ricky Ullman is really good as the lead actor. I mean, he's really good. I cared about him, and I thought he played this part very, very well. This movie has a crazy plot, like a good Disney Channel original movie should. It does have a crazy plot. But this movie, the ending was absolutely insane. I was not expecting it at all. I had not seen this movie, even though it came out in 2004, and that's kind of when I started to watch Disney Channel original movies, I guess like kind of 2005. But, so I had never seen this one until we watched it in August, and I think this was the first one of this project that we watched. And the ending, I don't want to give spoilers away, because honestly, my jaw was just dropped the entire ending 10 minutes of this movie. And I don't want to ruin that for anyone who hasn't seen it, because it is utterly bizarre. And I was just like, how did we get here? What? This is the ending to this movie? The ending still blows my mind to this day. Number 10 is Cowbells, and this came out in 2006, and it stars Ali and AJ Mashaka, and it's about 2 rich sisters who end up having to save the family business. I didn't watch this movie when it first came out in 2006 because I kind of thought it was a lot like other movies that were out at the time, like Material Girls and things like that. Like, it just kind of felt like, oh, we have like 2 sisters that really love to shop, and oh no, like they don't have money anymore. I just felt like it was kind of similar to other movies, but I did watch it a few years ago for the first time in college, and I enjoyed it. I just don't think this movie is very relatable to the general Disney Channel fan base. I mean, they're talking, the younger sister in this movie is talking about having this quintillion, I think is what it's called. I had never heard of that until this movie, but it's kind of, I guess, like, kind of like a rite of passage kind of party, like kind of like a Sweet 16, I would say. And she, I think something about like $16,000 or like $1,600 or something. She talks about, you know, having to put that towards this party. I don't know if that's even the right number, but I just was kind of like, I just don't think that this is relatable. Like, that is not an amount I ever would have expected from my parents. And I don't think that is an amount that really any kid in the Disney Channel general demographic would expect, like, to get from their parents, even for something like that. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like this movie is very relatable. It's a fun movie. I do like Allie and AJ, of course, from like their music and stuff like that, and it's fun to see them in this movie together, but it's not the best by any means, but it's not bad either. Number 9 is Avalon High, and this came out in 2010, and it stars Britt Robertson and Greg Sulkin, and it's about a teenage girl who discovers that her new school is a reincarnation of King Arthur and his court. I actually liked this movie more than I thought I would. We always watch the trailer for the next movie that we're gonna watch, you know, after watching the movie that we watched that Saturday night. And from like the little clip that was shown, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be kind of cheesy. And the climax is super cheesy, I will say that. But I thought the characters were likable. I thought that the Allie and Miles friendship was pretty fun. They kind of have a unique best friendship that you don't really see very much, so I liked that. Jordan Sparks' Battlefield gets played in this. I don't know how they got the copyright for that, but that may have been on Radio Disney. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, I thought that was kind of fun. And I like the romance between Britt Robertson and Greg Sulkin's characters, so that's awesome. And the parents are funny. You know, a little cringy, but they're funny. And as I said, yes, the climax gets kind of cheesy, but overall I enjoyed this one. Number 8 is Miracle in Lane 2. This came out in 2000 and it stars Frankie Muniz. And it's about a boy who doesn't really think he can do sports, and so he tries to win a soapbox derby trophy. What's interesting about this movie is that it was based and inspired upon by a true story. What's great about this movie is the family dynamic and what's going on. I felt like that was very relatable, and this movie gets pretty serious in parts and really has some emotional punches, and I really like that. You know, to me, this movie wasn't super unrealistic, and I felt like the themes of it were stuff and things that, you know, every kid can relate to. The main character's like narration and his point of view on things was at times like hilarious. Like there's a scene where like his family is in court and, you know, they have like the wigs and stuff, and you're like, well, this came out of nowhere, but it's kind of fun. And I felt like it was just like a character point of view that we don't see very often, and it wasn't what I expected for this kind of character. And so that was really fascinating, and yeah, it was a good movie. Number 7 is Descendants, and I feel like a bunch of people are gonna be like, why is that like so low out of just these 20 movies? Yeah, so we'll talk about it. But Descendants came out in 2015, and it stars Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, Bobo Stewart, and Cameron Boyce, rest in peace. And basically the synopsis for this is that children of classic fairy tale villains are offered redemption. Okay, here's my thing with Descendants. It was directed and choreographed by Kenny Ortega. Okay, Kenny Ortega is amazing. He's the guy behind the High School Musical choreography. He did Newsies. I believe he did Dirty Dancing. So Kenny Ortega is really good when it comes to dancing and things like that. And so I was like, whoa, like he directed and choreographed this movie. And I didn't know that until the credits rolled. Here's the thing though. This movie, I don't remember any of the dancing. Like, I don't remember any standout sequences or things that I was like, wow, that was really cool. I don't remember any of that. And people are gonna also maybe hate me for this. I don't think the songs are memorable. Like, I don't remember a single song from that movie. And maybe if I had watched it when it came out in 2015 and I was a kid at this point watching Descendants, then yeah, it would be super catchy to me, but I just didn't remember the songs or the choreography, and that just really was weird to me because it's Kenny Ortega. Kenny Ortega's amazing. I do like Ben and Mal. I like their romance. I think that's really cute, and Ben's perfect, so there you go. Kristen Chenoweth is an icon. I love her. Okay, if there's a song I remember, it's her song, but I remember hearing it at dance competitions. If you wanna be evil. I love Kristen Chenoweth. She is an alum of my university, alumna, and so mad respect, but she's great. And I do like the concept and the idea for this. I do think it's fun to see like the children of Disney villains and all of that. And I do think it's fun. And Dove Cameron, I like her. I like all the actors in this. So that's fun. But yeah, just from a musical perspective, I kind of forgot that this one was a musical one. Like, I feel like the focus is very much on the story and not the music or the choreography, which to me is just interesting. So there you go. Coming in at number 6 is Teen Beach 2, and this came out in 2015, and it stars Ross Lynch, Maya Mitchell, Grace Phipps, and Garrett Clayton. And it's gonna be kind of weird to reveal my thoughts on Teen Beach 2 when I haven't revealed my thoughts on Teen Beach Movie yet, but I'm gonna try. We're gonna go for it. Okay, whatever happens, happens. So after watching Teen Beach Movie, which I thought was a very fun movie, I was like, okay, Teen Beach 2 is gonna be even better. I was like, Layla and Tanner are coming from, you know, the movie world to the real world. And I was like, you can do a lot of wacky stuff with that. That's gonna be hilarious. And I just feel like there was kind of a missed opportunity. Like, I feel like the setup for the second one was actually maybe stronger, or could have like really been a good sequel, but the second one just kind of was sad. Like, it wasn't fun. Mac and Brady in this one, they're having relationship problems. Layla and Tanner are kind of having relationship problems, and it's just talked about the entire movie. And I felt like the ending was weird and selfish, and I don't want to give spoilers away, but the ending to me just, I don't know. I can't say I like it, but I don't know what would have been a better ending. I will say this though, there are some pros. Gotta Be Me is a jam. That is an amazing song. Garrett Clayton as Tanner, he's just the best actor ever. He has to do ridiculous things, and he just kills it. He is the Lucas Gabriel of the High School Musical series. He is the Lucas Gabriel of the Teen Beach Movie series. He is amazing. After we just talked about Descendants, the choreography and the music, like, you can really tell that there's effort into this, and it's really enjoyable. I felt like in terms of like choreography and whatnot, that Teen Beach 2 still had a lot more effort and things put into it, even though I was disappointed with the story. All right, we are down to the top 5. Woohoo! Oh man, coming in at number 5, people are not going to agree with me on this one. Or people are gonna be like, how? It's Kim Possible, 2019 version. Basically, it's a live action Kim Possible, from the cartoon. It's a live action version of that, and it shows Kim Possible starting freshman year with Ron. I know some people are like, this is terrible, and expected this to be lower. I'm going to talk about the pros of the movie first. Pros: Ron, Shigo, Draken. Those castings, 10 out of 10. I feel like it was gonna be so hard. Like, regardless of what they did, it was gonna be very hard to do a Kim Possible, you know, cartoon to live action. Like, it's gonna be hard to pull off. And I felt like there were some things that actually really did work, such as, you know, Bueno Nacho, and like, you know, the sign outside of the school, you know, that has different things based on what's going on. Like, I thought that there were some really fun things that kept in the spirit of the cartoon, and I liked the effort that was put in. I think the actress who plays Kim was just really baby-faced, and I guess that's part of the problem, is like, in this cartoon series, I just kind of, especially because like season 4 is Kim as a senior, but I just pictured Kim older, and it's weird to see like Kim so young, and I just felt like she wasn't this kick butt character that I really remember, because she's just young. But I thought for what they tried to do, I mean, it wasn't gonna be an easy task, and they weren't gonna make everyone happy, and different strokes for different folks, but I thought it was actually pretty decent, even though it is not perfect. It does have flaws. Number 4 is Read It and Weep. This came out in 2006, and it stars Kay and Danielle Pennebaker and Jason Dolley. Basically, this girl's diary becomes a bestseller. Jason Dolley as Connor in this movie is adorable. Oh my gosh, like this is before Jason Dolley had like a big long span of starring in Disney Channel original movies, and like this is like the first one, and he is so baby-faced and it is adorable. Oh my gosh, but love him in this. He's great. I like how this movie, there are consequences and they play out, and I like that you are able to see it. I like how kind of her dad's pizza shop is on the line, and how kind of her book and things fluctuates and kind of influences what's going on there. And just I like that there's consequences in this movie, and it's not just like, oh, everything's great and fine, you know, and wished away, you know. I think it's really relatable. I know it was relatable for me. It has an amazing song by Jordan Pruitt, Outside Looking In. And yeah, I mean, I think there are times in middle school, high school, where you just feel like you just feel like you're losing everybody and no one understands you, and I felt like this movie really did a good job of portraying that. Number 3 is Camp Rock. This came out in 2008, and it stars Demi Lovato and, of course, the Joe Bros. And it's about a girl that goes to rock camp. I use rock camp in air quotes because it really should be called like Camp Pop, but whatever, it's fine. High School Musical was kind of the movie of my Disney Channel generation, but this was also up there. And so I think I'm a little more nostalgic and more forgiving of it than maybe someone who is like, Teen Beach Movie's amazing, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, grew up watching Descendants and is like, Descendants is the best thing ever. Things I don't like about this movie, I think Mitchie's lies and whatnot are just, it's stupid. And I also think Mitchie's just kind of a goofball. You know, she really wants to go to Camp Rock, and yet she's really scared to sing once she's there. So it's like, girl, come on. Let's go. Make your dreams come true. Let's go. Not the best choreography for dancing. Not the best. It launched the careers of Demi Lovato and really helped launch the Joe Bros into the stratosphere. And I mean, come on, the This Is Me scene is iconic enough. And honestly, Camp Rock is here mainly for nostalgic reasons and because it was really an iconic movie for people my age. Number 2 is Going to the Mat, which came out in 2004, and it stars Andrew Lawrence, and it's basically about a blind teen who ends up becoming a wrestler. I think this is the best leading performance by a Disney male in any Disney Channel original movie that I've seen for this project, or just that I've seen. Andy Lawrence is really, really good in this role, and he's really compelling. I also just think that how this character was written and how this character acts is really unique. I think a lot of times we think characters that have a disability or something, you know, are going to just, you know, be victims of their circumstances or kind of just like feel sad or like outcasted. But this character had like a really cool confidence to him, and I liked that it was portrayed that way. You know, I'm not blind, so the blind community may not think that this is a very good or accurate representation of their community. So I'm not going to be a judge there. I just think this is a great movie. I think I kind of would forget that this is a Disney Channel original movie, you know, because there's not music and it's not a crazy wacky plot. It's just a good movie, and I really enjoyed it, and it was at number 1 for a long time, like several weeks, until I watched my number 1. And number 1 is Teen Beach Movie. This came out in 2013, and it stars Ross Lynch, Maya Mitchell, Grace Phipps, and Garrett Clayton. And yeah, I love Teen Beach Movie. I couldn't stop smiling for days after I watched it. It's just fun. The choreography is great. There's effort put in there. The music, cruising for bruising, that's a blast. There's just a lot of effort to it. Is it cheesy? Heck yes. Oh my gosh, it is so cheesy. And like the villains of the villains, like they're so like comedically do not need to be there at all. But like, it's just, I don't know, they're fun. Like, I don't want them to go anywhere. Do they add anything to the story? Not really, but they're just fun. I think Brady and Mac are really shippable in this movie, and just the concept of being sucked into the movie musical world, it was really fun and I really enjoyed it, and it's kind of corny and the plot's kind of crazy, but to me that's what a Disney Channel original movie should be. I definitely foresee this list is going to change dramatically. I mean, we haven't watched any High School Musicals, no Xenons, no Cheetah Girls, nothing. So this list is going to change a lot, and it's just going to be interesting, but I am so glad that I got to like let you guys in on this project and show you guys like where we're at and how I'm feeling about the different movies that I've seen. I absolutely love getting to do this every week with Caitlin and watching these movies, some of them that I really remember growing up with and them being a part of like my Disney Channel childhood, and then now kind of watching them in my mid-20s, some that I missed. So it's just been really, really fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, God bless you, because it's gonna be a long one, and I'm proud of you. Thank you so much for everything. Please stick around. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what is your favorite Disney Channel original movie out of these completely random 20, or what is your least favorite out of these completely random 20. And yeah, you can also hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one. And if you want even more of me, and if you want to see on Saturday nights what movie we are watching for our Disney Channel original movie project, follow me on Instagram at louisa.ruby. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon in the brand new video. Bye!